Hey, everybody. Here is another edition, probably already getting started on Rama's and Isaac, CTO and the CEO's Invest Townhouse Tuesday. Already taken, probably already getting started. Let me go ahead and go on the web because it could either be, maybe they're doing their live. Let me take a look real quick. Tuesday. Moderate on the okay. They're on the web.
Oh,
great.
Right. Yeah,
I can.
Okay, so give the moderator chat moderator
I
powers.
know you can hear them.
Yeah, but then somebody, but see, you know what happens with that though? Somebody always takes it too far and they weaponize it. Power hungry. Somebody like, yo, man, why you mute me in the chat? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I love hearing this part.
What's up, guys? Welcome. How's everyone doing? We're gonna get started in a few minutes. Join. Get started.
Y'all get some behind the scenes clips. It's probably echoing.
News today, so we
Oh,
definitely
look
want
at
to
the
make sure that everyone
background.
joins.
So you see that?
I know you have a great event going on today, right?
I'm gonna try to make it. This weather is like,
Yeah. Welcome everyone. This is join. We're waiting for a few other users and we'll get started. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. It's crazy to think, we're already on the second week of February. And then when you least expect, Q1 is gone.
January was a long January though.
It was a long but amazing January. We had some record numbers with everything going on, and it was great for us, and we're building from that too. So I was just talking to Andrew, our insights guru, and we're just talking about the numbers and how about DAUs and so on. And it's exciting to see, the platform continue growing and building from the January movement. So it's exciting.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get started. It's 5:04. I'm starting to see a lot of people joining. Welcome to another edition of Tuesday Investor Town Hall here at Fanbase. My name is Rama. I'm your humble CTO to the service of our amazing users and creators. And I have the honor to be right next to Mr. Isaac Hayes III, who's our CEO and founder. He's the crazy guy that had the crazy idea, and I'm just the guy that is trying to help make that idea reality. So we're excited to be here. We do this every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so we can share the news about our ongoing Regulation A race, and also the state of the business, the product, and everything around it. And of course, to hear from you. If you have any questions, feedback, we're here to answer those. All right, with that said, Mr. Isaac, I'll let you do an intro of our reggae race, and we'll go from there.
Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Welcome to our Tuesday town hall for Fanbase investors and prospective investors, those that are considering investing in Fanbase. We are currently holding a equity crowdfund raise in the Reg A section of equity crowdfunding for $17 million on Start Engine. This raise is going till we reach our goal of $17 million. We are currently at about $8.7 million raised, a little over that. We crossed that today from an amazing group of over 19,000 or so investors who have invested in Fanbase. You yourself can invest in Fanbase right now. I'm going to pin the link to the crowdfund at the top of this audio room. You can go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at an awesome $665 a share. And you can invest right now and own equity in Fanbase.
Quick questions for you, Isaac. How many times can I invest in Fanbase?
You can invest in Fanbase as many times as you like until we reach our goal, until we reach the goal of $17 million. Even if you've invested in previous rounds, you can add to your investment by buying more shares in the as we continue to scale.
How much can I invest? Is there a limit?
There is no limit except the minimum, which is $399, but there is no maximum. So if someone's listening right now and wants to take the remaining 8 million or so of the round, you can absolutely do so. Reach out to us, call investor support, and do that. And I've actually, we've actually had some calls about, other people wanting to come in at higher numbers and actually take portions of the round. That's why I keep telling people, like, invest while you can, because capitalization is so important to us that we have to take that capital. Somebody wants to come and close out this round, we got to let them do it.
Yep. So usually we cover this topic in the middle of our conversation, or even sometimes at the end, but I think it's important that we cover it now that we're talking about the race. In the past, I would say 2 weeks, we've seen some numbers changing and some potential investors that forgot to confirm their investment, and hence they were taken out of the potential investor list for Fanbase. Can you briefly go through the process and emphasize how important it is for everyone that invests in Fanbase to confirm their investment?
Yeah,
why they do that?
Let's start by the amount of investment that's been sent back, because that's a lot of people that probably don't know that they are not invested in Fanbase because they did not confirm the investment. I think if I'm correct, because it was 2 different times, it's almost over $270,000. Correct? Am I right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So
since the beginning of the race.
Yeah, since the beginning of the race, we've had to return $270,000 to people that thought they invested in Fanbase, but they did not confirm their investment. And that's really important, because every time we have these calls, I'm going to do a video about this today, because every time we have these calls, I go over the process of investing in Fanbase. And the most important process in all the process of investing in Fanbase for you as the investor is to confirm your investment that you actually want to invest in Fanbase. So the process of investing in Fanbase goes is this: you will go to startengine.com and create an account, right? And once you create that account, you will invest in Fanbase, whatever amount you want to invest. So think of startengine.com as the place where your wallet, where your shares are held. So we don't have your shares. StartEngine is the facilitator of that raise. They are the ones that are the custodian of your shares. So whenever you want to check on your investment, you can go to startengine.com and check on your investment there. Once you do that, the money that you invest goes into escrow. And escrow simply means a middle point where we don't have the capital and you don't have the capital. And in that process, a background check takes place on the person investing, making sure that they're not trying to launder money or do anything illegal. That could take up to 2 days or a week. Once that process is done, this part is important. You will receive an investment that says confirm your investment, right? You'll receive an email asking you to confirm your investment. If you do not respond to that email in a certain amount of time, and it's a good amount of time, but if you do not respond to that email in a certain amount of time, StartEngine will return your funds to you, and you will not be invested in Fanbase. If you do click confirm my investment, then that money goes into a disbursement queue for us. Once we take that capital and put it in our bank account, you are then invested in Fanbase as a Fanbase investor. So the part that matters most is initially investing and then confirming your investment, because the SEC and StartEngine wants to give everybody just enough time to say, is this exactly what I want to do, exactly how I want to invest, and what I want to invest in. And a lot of people miss that part. They think it's just simply as I hit invest and you're done. That is not the case. And so for that reason, we had to return over $270,000 of people that probably think that they are invested in Fanbase and don't know. But I'll be doing a video about that, and we'll be communicating with investors and everybody that did invest, that got their money returned. We will try to reach out to them, because Start Engine tries to reach out to you and tries to reach out to the people that have invested to confirm their investment. And sometimes they don't check those emails, or it might wind up in a spam folder. So it's really, really important that you check your email to make sure that you are invested.
Definitely. We're already getting some good questions on the race, but before we answer those questions, I want to go quickly over the rewards that you get, the extra perks that you get by investing in Fanbase as well. I always like to remind everyone, because often people don't know about it, but depending on how much you invest, you can also be part of a tier, and as such, you're going to get extra perks. I'm going to start by saying that if you are an existing investor that has invested in Fanbase in the prior 3 rounds, and you invest again in this round, you automatically get 10% bonus shares. Okay, no matter what, if it's the minimum $3.99, you will get 10% bonus shares if you invested in the past. Okay, but then you have 5 different tiers. If you invest $600 or more, you have tier 1, and with that, you're going to be part of our new Fanbase features list on the platform. So anytime we have a significant feature, we're going to add you to a list, and you're going to be the first one to play around with it and give us feedback. If you invest $1,000 or more, you're going to be part of tier 2. That you're also going to be part of this list. You're going to get 10,000 labs that you can use in Fanbase to support all the great content and the creators that we have in Fanbase. And you're also going to get a verified profile badge, the blue badge. Okay. Tier 3 is $2,500 or more. You're going to get everything that I just mentioned. In tier 2, you're going to get 15,000 instead of 10,000 labs. You're going to get a Fanbase t-shirt. By the way, guys, today I was disappointed we couldn't do a watch party, because I wanted to flash and show off my new Fanbase jacket that I have. So if you want to get the Fanbase t-shirt or merch, make sure you invest $2,500 or more. You're going to be part of tier 3, and you'll get that. And you also get a verified profile badge, the blue badge. If you are on tier 4, which is $5,000 or more, you're going to get everything that I shared, 20,000 labs, the t-shirt. You're going to get an early investor gold verified profile badge, so a special badge, and also 5% bonus shares. So if you're a past investor that invested in one of the prior 3 rounds, and you invest $5,000 or more, you're going to get 15% bonus shares, the 5% bonus shares for the tier, plus 10% for being an existing investor. And then last but not least, our tier 5 diamond investors, if you invest $10,000 or more, we have several of those. And I want to say thank you so much to everyone that invested throughout any tiers, but especially those that invest $10,000 or more. You get everything that I mentioned, 30,000 labs, the t-shirt, the gold verified badge. You're going to get access to a private dinner with us. It could be a dinner, it could be Isaac cooking for us. I'm still waiting for that confirmation, but we are going to do it. We're going to celebrate together when we close the round. And then you also get 10% bonus shares. Again, imagine if you're a past investor that you invest again in this round, $10,000 or more, you're gonna get 20% bonus shares. And so 6 additional reasons why you should and you can invest in Fanbase. The great news is that we stack the investments, meaning that if you invested $600 today and then you invested $500 tomorrow, we can combine those two and make you, for example, part of tier 2. So you qualify to the other perks. What we cannot stack are the bonus shares, because those are controlled by Start Engine. But everything else, lab, merch, verified profile badge, even the dinner, we can stack them and we'll honor those as well. Okay. Once you invest, make sure you reach out to support so you can claim your perks. You have to reach out to support. They ask you a question just to verify that you're an investor in Fanbase, and then they'll be able to assign you the perks right away. Okay, so if you're wondering, I just invested, but I haven't gotten my perks, please reach out to support. You can shake your phone if you have the app open. You heard me right, shake your phone. Or you can simply email us at support@fanbase.app. I did talk to support yesterday, and we set an objective to respond to all the outstanding investor questions by the end of the week. So if you haven't heard back, you will hear very soon. And I will say something, shout out to the tech support team, because in January, which was a crazy January, we had thousands of outstanding tickets that we were trying to respond, and now we're down to the hundreds. So they're doing a great job, and hopefully all of you that open a ticket or reach out as an investor, you heard from them, but if not, be patient. We'll get there for sure.
For sure.
Awesome, awesome. All right, let's go through some of the questions, Isaac. I'll start with the first one that I think it's a good one. What happens once we reach the 17 million?
Oh, that's simple. The raise closes. So every raise has a close amount, right? So there's a goal. Once we reach that goal, the raise closes, and then no one is no longer able to invest in this round. So that means the opportunity is over. That closes the round. That sets the valuation of fan base at what we are currently valued at, plus the capital raised. And then if there's ever another capital raise, it will be at a higher valuation, which means you would actually have to put in more capital to receive the same amount of value. And so what's important about that is every time um, we do a new round, the value of fan base has gone up. So every round that we've done, you would actually to get the benefit of what you're getting in this round, in the next round, who knows what you would have to invest to have that same amount of shares. So then we close, and then there's no more opportunity to invest in fan base. But we get to work on a lot of dope things that we want to do.
Definitely, definitely. So someone asked a question about the stacking the perks, so hopefully I was able to answer your question. You did mention something very important, which is related to another question, which is, okay, if you're getting the $17 million, what are you guys going to do with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The important thing here is that as we are progressing in the race, we actually do have access to that capital, which allows us to start to continue really implementing the plan that we set almost a year ago, right? And so when Isaac talks about raising money and raising money quickly, that's what really helps us drive the business. So, for example, in January, correct me if I'm wrong, Isaac, we've raised almost $3 million in around a month.
We raised over three. We raised $3.5 million in a month.
Yeah, which has been amazing. And the good news about that is that with that, it allows us to start having access to a lot of that capital and start implementing the plan. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. We talked about when we started the race, we said we want to scale up the product, right? And scaling up the product is not just hiring engineers; it's actually working on the architecture, starting to build automation, starting to do performance improvements. So our audio rooms not only can support hundreds but thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, right? And we're actually starting to do that now. So we are putting our efforts and our work where our mouth was. And we appreciate you guys for having invested in us, because we have access to that capital and we can start implementing a lot of those things that we plan. And we'll expand on that in a little bit as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Then someone asked, how many rounds do you envision needing outside of this one?
Oh, I mean, that question cannot be determined because, well, here's the thing. The goal that we always talked about is to become sustainable just off the revenue generated from the users on the platform and whatever we decide, if we decide to do advertising or whatever it is, right? That's the goal. So then you don't have to take more capital, right? So that's what every platform does. But to get that escape velocity, you have to raise large amounts of capital, particularly to do that. So when you think of platforms like Meta, like Facebook, or even TikTok, or other platforms, sometimes they raise $1 billion just to get to where they need to get to have that escape velocity to become self-sufficient. I'm not saying that we'll need to raise $1 billion. We will need to raise $1 billion, but it depends on what we need to make fan base an extremely profitable and successful company. That's all that really matters.
Yep. I have some other great questions here. Someone said, I'm based in the UK. Can we invest?
Oh yeah, I saw Cillian's with that. So because of regulatory conditions, the UK and Canada are restricted from investing in fan base if you're a non-accredited investor. If you are an accredited investor, you can invest in the UK and not Canada.
Yeah.
Um, let me address something too that's extremely important because I'm seeing this on Fanbase. I'm seeing this on all across social media sites. I'm seeing fake Isaac Hayes accounts, right? Asking people to invest in Fanbase. One thing that I will tell you is I will never tell you to go anywhere other than to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. If my profile is verified on here, it is verified on Instagram. So if anybody reaches out to you that says, "Hey, text me so I can send you a way to invest or whatever," the link that I send you, or if you ever see me send you a link, it will always be to startengine.com/fanbase. So I will never ask you to cash at me money. I will never ask you to wire me any money because fraud is rampant, especially, in areas that people are trying to do, raise capital. Or somebody's always trying to take advantage of people that may or may not know what's going on. So I say all the time, only go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest and go through that process. But there are a lot of fake Isaac Hayes accounts, and I've deleted a lot of them. We've taken quite a few down, but they keep popping up. So just be
Yeah.
on the lookout for those.
As we grow, there's other growing pain points, and this is one of them. People are finding out about fan base, about Isaac the Hayes, and there's always going to be bad actors out there. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a few questions around being able to have a deed or even donate or give the shares to their children. And what I can say about that is that the best way to proceed about that is reach out to Start Engine, because there are ways where they can help you address your investment and what you want to do with it. And they'll be the best ones to answer those questions. Lately, we had some questions about, hey, can we invest as a group, like an SBC? And the answer is yes, you can also invest as a group, as long as it's a legal entity itself. And so there is some flexibility, but always the best resource is Start Engine. And if for some reason you're not getting your answers, you can always come and escalate through us. We meet with them once a week, and we always bring up any concerns we might have that might need attention. Okay. All right. Um, I want. This is a great question. It's not related to the investment, but it is, because as people invest in us, they also want to know the direction and where do we see ourselves in the future. Someone asked, where do you see, or where do you imagine Fanbase in 5 years, Isaac?
Ooh, wow. Well, in all affirmative speaking, I imagine Fanbase is the number one app on the App Store, a global platform that is leading the social economy in 2030, right? And shaping the way that we view content and monetization, and changing the understanding and the definition of what it means to be a content creator to something that is very, very broad and applies to every single person that is on social media. But I know we'll be a bigger, larger company with a lot more functionality and features and a lot more disruptive.
Love it, love it. All right. So there's some of the original basic questions, but someone asked their investment is in pending state. Um, what should I be getting an email soon? And the answer is, once it goes through the money laundry check, you will get an email. And Isaac mentioned that it's super, super important that you be on the lookout for that email to confirm your investment, because if not, you won't be a confirmed investor. Okay, so always be on the lookout for the email. And if you ever have doubts, you can always reach out to Start Engine or us, and we can help you from there as well. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So I want to bring a similar but different topic. Everything has to do with fan base, how we are intention, what's our intention to grow. But I want to talk about what makes fan base different from the rest. Okay, because yes, Fanbase is a cool place. It's fun. We have all this great functionality, but I think we need to get to the core of what differentiates Fanbase from the rest. And I want you and I to talk a little bit about it. And then later, after that, we have a very nice announcement that has to do with how we differentiate ourselves. So let's start with that, and I'll let you take the lead first of what do you think differentiates Fanbase from the rest. And we have several points there.
Well, I mean, what differentiates us from all the other platforms is what we were founded on. We were founded on the belief that every single person has the right and should have the opportunity to earn revenue for the content that they create on social media, right? Not necessarily through other people paying you, but the literal process of creating content and creating a mechanism where people can actually pay you for the content that you create, or either tip you or subscribe to you in that fashion, which was entirely something that was different than any of the other platforms thought about doing before we started doing this. When we started, also, we believe in the ability that you guys should be able to reach everyone that wants to see your content and then some, so that the content suppression and the shadow banning that takes place on these platforms, for them to make the most out of advertising and advertisers. I wanted to eliminate that barrier, because again, if you have 1 million followers, 1 million people should know that you posted a photo or a video. 1 million people should know that you posted a story. 1 million people should know that you went live. And these platforms have played games with reach and visibility for years, just because it only benefits them that they get the most visibility of the content that they want, so they can make those money from advertising. So that, first and foremost, is what separates us from a lot of these other platforms.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through a few other ones. So I'm a I'm a guy that just landed in Fanbase, and
Hmm.
I don't consider myself a creator per se, just because I don't have the fancy cameras and everything, but at Fanbase we believe everyone is a creator, right? So that that's a big differentiator from the rest too, because anyone can make money from day one. So talk a little bit about that experience as someone that might not consider themselves a creator, lands into Fanbase, and suddenly they start seeing money just because the way they're engaging.
Yeah, so direct to consumer monetization was the first part about building the app, which was the ability to have subscribers um, on top of followers, and the ability for people to tip you for your content. Now, what makes that important is because most people do not consider themselves content creators, when in actuality they are. So, and what I mean by that is the ways that you participate on social media, you're creating content, whether you're in the DMs, whether you're in the comment section, whether you're in the chat in this part of the app right now. You are yourself a content creator. Even the posts that you don't consider content are considered content by the app itself, because if you post a photo, a vacation photo, and someone watches your content or sees your photo or sees your video, believe me, at some point there's an ad that's going to be ran in between the post that you posted and the next post that relates to what's in the piece of content that you posted. So, in any way that you participate on social media platforms, liking posts, all that stuff, you're creating content, and content creates, you're creating engagement. And so that engagement also gives the platform things to understand about you as a user, market ads to you or other people that do the same things that you do. So every single person on Fanbase is a content creator, and we believe that once that idea is made perfectly clear to everybody, they will continue to post content and realize the benefit and the reward. And what you will notice on Fanbase is this thing called love. So love is tipping. So just think of likes as a thumbs up. Think of love as a heart, right? So I love what you're saying. I love what you're doing. The cool thing about love is available in all parts of the app. So love is available on posts. So it's available on stories, live, posts, audio rooms, long form, short form content. It's available in the DMs. So if somebody sends you direct message and you want to show them some love for what you sent, you can send love there. It's available actually in the chat right now of this audio room. There's a heart icon beside everybody that posts a comment in this chat room. And so someone could tip you for what you're saying there. And then the comment section of the app, on any content inside the app where you comment, there's the ability to receive love. So think about all those multiple ways in which you can receive love, which is money, for something that you just simply say, right? By being part of the conversation, being part of whatever's happening on the platform.
Love that. Let's talk about a little bit of what's going on, not a little bit, a lot that is going on out there, which is creator burnout, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times they have all these social media platforms that, you have TikTok that has short form video, then you have Clubhouse that has audio, and you have all of these. And sometimes having to be in all these different places can be burnout, and having to start again with your building your community and so on. Talk a little bit about why Fanbase is different than all of that, and how we actually help with that creator burnout as well.
Yeah, so app fatigue is real, right? And so what we've noticed over the past decade is that there's a lot of functionality that is different, that makes platforms unique in the way that they function. But if you're looking at the trends of most of the larger platforms, they're all starting to adopt the same similar functionality from one to the other. I can give you a few that I know they're extremely important. So now, like TikTok has the ability to post photos, and they have the ability to post carousel photos. And you have the ability to post short form video and long form video that is rectangular from 16 by 9 on the app as well. So even though the main vertical on TikTok is the short form video that people scroll, they got posts, they got stories, they got live, they got carousels. They even have those little notes where you type in the little bubble that's like, what are you thinking about that Instagram started? And so all these platforms um, are starting to adopt multifunctional uh, multifunctional content formats that allow people to express themselves in multiple ways. What I like about what we're doing is that we're tackling all of these at once, and we were built to be this from the very, very beginning. Media is such an important part of social media. The media part, the way that people consume content has changed a lot over the years. People just don't want to look at a show anymore. They want to watch a show and comment with their friends about it. They want to share it. They want to, react to it. They want to express themselves on the things that they see and they react to. And so creator burnout is having to go from one app to another app. So I got to go from Twitter. I got to from Twitter to YouTube, from YouTube to Snapchat, Snapchat to Facebook, Facebook to Instagram, Instagram to TikTok, and so on and so forth. And so the dawn of the everything, what people have been talking about, where everything is in one place. It's all connected. It all works together. Some of the functionality can collaborate with other functionality inside the platform, like Watch Party is a part of audio. So videos that are at top of audio rooms, all of those things really make Fanbase a really fun place to be and build, because as we grow, it's going to be more and more, functionality to other things that people aren't even really thinking about that will become part of this content multiverse that we have over here.
Love it. So let's talk about someone that has built their audience in another platform, and they actually have a lot of content that they put a lot of effort on, and they might not have made any money in any of those platforms. Creator burnout is also about how they transition into a new platform without having to start from zero. How are we different, and how do we help with that aspect as well?
Well, I think, I define a business, and say this a lot, by the ability to receive a revenue for a product or service that you provide. So by default, every single person with a fan base page is a business, right? You have the ability to receive revenue either through a subscription or someone tipping your content, right? And what makes this unique is that on other platforms, you might have been on Instagram for a decade or so, and there's never been a mechanism for people to pay you directly inside of Instagram for anything that you do inside the platform, right? So no one can. So right now, if you post a really cool photo or video, there's no way for somebody to say, "Hey, I like this. Let me tip you," and do something like that. So for that very reason, when people start new platforms, you have to start all the way over, and there's a big lift in taking all of your content, posting it all over from scratch, because we're at the point right now where we spent, if you've been on Facebook, you've been on from the beginning, you've been on Facebook for 20 years, right? If you've been on Instagram, you've been on Instagram for, I think, 14 years now. So you probably got a lot of posts. And so we wanted to make the ability for people to transfer that content, all those photos or those videos, up to 1,000 photos and videos, and import them over to Fanbase. And that accomplishes two things. Number one, you're not starting from scratch. So it helps with your engagement. Your profile is not blank. It's not empty. There's a profile picture there. There's a completed bio. There's content there. So your page looks alive and active. And then secondly, now your content is put into position that someone can tip you for it. And we've had people come on this platform that have been on Instagram or TikTok or Snap or Twitter for years. And in the first day that they're on Fanbase, they make money, $1, 50 cents, $10, whatever it is. And that's really a great feeling to understand that, oh, people will actually support me for what I do. I want to say something that's extremely important. When you talk about support, right? And that's a big part about monetization, because when you think of Twitch streamers, the people that stream video games, Twitch streamers don't provide exclusive content. When someone has a subscription on a Twitch platform, they're simply being supported by the community that likes the content that they provide. So it's a big tip. It's a recurring tip, right? So that means there's no exclusivity. So on Fanbase, people can subscribe to you just to support what you do. And then also you still have the ability to take it up a notch and take that revenue or get more creative and provide exclusive content and even grow your subscriber base. So that's something that I think is really, really special and separates us from a lot of other platforms, because we don't win unless you win, right? We're not making money off tons of advertisers or whatever. If you make money, we make money. And so it is in our best interest that every user on Fanbase is in a position to monetize, receive revenue, and scale so that we grow as well.
I love that. Last topic that I want to bring up, and then we'll summarize all this in a few words.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about community and community in Fanbase. I still remember when we first started building Fanbase, you had community in mind from day one. But even when we built audio, you were so honing in community because you saw what you and the rest of the initial users helped build Clubhouse to what it was, right? And you saw the importance of community. So let's talk about community and Fanbase.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think community is the most important part, because community is something that is evergreen. It lasts. It works 24/7. It's on the app when the famous people are not on the app. I say this all the time. Celebrities don't make apps, communities do, right? You guys are the ones that give fan base life and energy and the ability to stay active 24 hours a day, 7 days a week around the planet. And so building community on Fanbase is the core of what we want to do. We want to provide opportunities and functionality that allow people to build community. Even in audio, we have a functionality called camps, where you can build a community based on a very particular subject, any subject that you decide you want to build on. If it's hip hop, if it is I don't know, architecture, it can be reality shows, it could be comic books, it could be music. You can create an audio camp and then create content, audio conversations around that. What's important about that is the camps is that camps will eventually expand into other media formats on the platform that extend outside of audio. So your camp will be your community for your subject, but now you'll post multiple forms of media formats in those communities. So you'll be able to post a story to your community, or a post to your community, or a flicks video to your community. And so that's really cool, because now you get to hone in on those things that you're really, really interested in on Fanbase and be part of those micro communities that make up the larger total community of Fanbase.
I love that. I love it. So while you were talking, Isaac, I wrote down a summary of what really differentiates Fanbase. So everyone is a creator.
Yes.
You can make money from day one.
Day one.
All content formats in one single place, so make it easier to be really you without limits, right?
Yeah, convenience.
Convenience. We make transitioning from other platforms, bring everything we do easier than anyone else, right?
Yes, we're a bridge from all of the platforms to fan base.
Definitely. And then last but not least, community. We're all about community building.
100%. This is not a star driven platform. This is a community driven platform. Like this audio room. This audio room that we have every week is a community of people that tune in and listen to what we're doing about raising capital, which is very specific. So our investor community is tapped in on these conversations, these calls, and our prospective investor community is part of these conversations and calls. And again, that's the important part about that. We're raising $17 million at $399 at a time. You know what I mean? In some instances. And so this is a community effort. And it's community ownership as well. Those early adopters are also part of the ownership of the platform. So that's another community on Fanbase that exists. The community of people that actually have equity in the platform.
I love that. That is very true. I didn't mention it because we assumed it, but there's no platforms that allows you to have all of these differentiations and also own part of the platform, which that's huge. And
Yeah,
that's the reason why we're here.
I think that's going to be, I've actually heard rumblings of a lot of other platforms, considering, allowing people to have equity. I think some of them are too big and too large at this point to deliver a true value of return to investors that can be substantial. It's still a great thing to say that you can own part of a platform. But I think since we're, so young and new, that we're not a multi-billion-dollar company, the ability for people to have equity and ownership in an infrastructure that can scale, also that they can actually help scale by bringing community to the platform and making it larger, is important. So yeah, shout out to the investor community on Fanbase. The users and the investors combined make this platform very unique and very special.
Love it. So um, I was trying to look through some of the questions, but I think we answered most of them. As we talk about differentiating ourselves, we have
Hmm.
some exciting news for everyone. We have an exciting announcement. We've been thinking and working about this for a while. I'm going to let you announce it,
Oh
but I
wow.
think because you're the guy. But I wanna emphasize something that you said earlier today.
Hmm.
And this wasn't staged, guys. I promise you. Isaac, you mentioned we get up every day thinking about how can we allow our users, our creators to earn money, right? So we're all
Yes.
about we get excited when they get paid. We're all about how can we get them to get paid as quickly as possible, right?
Yes.
So with that said, I would like for you to let everyone know in here. This is an exclusive announcement because this is the first time that we're going to announce it. What's going to be happening very, very soon?
So March 1st, correct? Make sure
Correct?
March
All right.
1st, the payment threshold on Fanbase will go from $25 to $5 to get a minimum payment. So if you have anything over $5 in your Fanbase account, it will be deposited into your bank at the beginning of the month. And that's really cool because, again, we're paying users faster, right? More people are getting paid. They're seeing their money. They're not having to work so hard as to get paid and say, hey, man, I'm right. I've been stuck in $18 for a month to reach that 25. Because listen, we are in an unusual economy right now, and every bit helps. I mean, eggs are $18 right now. I don't know what's going on, but the ability for people to, get to their money faster, I think is really good. And so we're excited to announce that $5 will be the minimum threshold payout in Fanbase starting March 1st. So you will be getting paid faster by not having to go to $25, but down to $5. And that's good.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about because it's not only reaching the $5, right? You have to make sure that you have your payment profile set up. That's super, super
Yes.
important. So let's talk a little bit about the payment profile. You know,
Yeah.
So it also depends on the region that you are, because Fanbase is available in the entire world, 170 plus countries. So
Hmm.
if you're in the US, UK, or Australia, we can actually pay you through bank account or debit card. If you're in the US, you can get paid as an individual or as a business as well. You have to make sure that you go to your profile, you go to the upper right hand side on settings, and you set up your payment profile there. Okay. We do ask for information, and the information we ask you is not only so you can get paid, but also, because you're creating content and you're earning money from that. We also got to make sure that, especially in the US, we do all the taxes properly as well for you. Now,
Let,
if you
let me
are,
let me
yeah.
let me let me elaborate on that because it's something important. Because this is a question we get all the time, and I've seen people ask this before. Somebody's like, "I saw you guys ask for my social security number, so I deleted the app." I'm like, "What?" So, and I understand that because your social, your things like that are sensitive information. You do not now. This is the thing. You at some point will make money on Fanbase. Whether you want to receive that income or not is up to you. What we ask for is really we're not even taking the information. So, like other platforms that are in the gig economy space. So, uh-oh. So platforms like Lyft or Instacart or DoorDash, they use a payment processor called Stripe. So Stripe is the same payment processor that Lyft, DoorDash, and Instacart use. So if you're a Lyft driver, your DoorDash driver, your Instacart driver, you have to set up a profile, put in your social security number and a bank account or wherever you want your money to deposit it when you make those deliveries. So since everybody is a creator in a business on Fanbase, everybody has the ability to receive that revenue. So the same way that you get paid at your job or you get paid as a gig economy worker, there's the same way that you can get paid on Fanbase, and we use Stripe. So number one, we don't have your information. Stripe has your information. So we don't save any of your financial information as a company. Stripe is the intermediary in which we pay out through to you. So I know some people saying, well, why are you asking for this sensitive information that I need? That's only if you want to receive the revenue that you make on Fanbase. And we
Yep.
suggest that everybody does because it's important that you get the money that you've made by just being on the platform.
100%. If you are outside the US, UK, or Australia, you can still complete your payment profile connecting your PayPal account. Now, we understand that in some regions, PayPal is not widely used as other regions, but I always say this: do not let that stop you from using Fanbase and making the minimum, which we just announced is going to be $5. If for some reason you are in a region that does not have any of the payment options we just mentioned, including PayPal, please reach out to support. We'll find a way to pay you, because that's what we live for. We want to pay you. We want you to make money. And so just make sure, please, that you have your payment profile set up, because if not, we are not able to pay you. And then that money just sits there. All right.
Yes, yes.
So for those that might just join, Isaac, let's repeat that announcement. Starting March 1st.
Starting March 1st, the payment threshold to get paid on Fanbase is $5. Right? It was 25, now it's 5. So anything over $5 that you make on Fanbase will be deposited into your bank account or an account of your choosing at the first of every month.
So, and I just want to clarify the fact that it's March 1st, that means that whatever money you make in February this month, that's going to qualify. So if you're already at $7 or $5, you will get paid on March 1st. So don't wait until March 1st to get active and get all excited. Get excited today, because what you do today at this minute will influence how much you'll get paid by the end of the month. And I hope we're talking about thousands, if not tens of thousands of users, because that's what we live for.
Absolutely. I love it. Like I like getting paid on Fanbase because it's a little bit of extra change I got to get some gas and stuff like that. And those are the things that I don't think people understand. It's not like, listen, being a content creator, don't put it in your mind that you can think of being a content creator on a platform to say, hey, look, I'm gonna quit my job and become a full-time content creator. Or I can do something that supplements part of my income to to help with some of my bills, to add on to this. I've known people that have paid phone bill. Like some people make enough money every month on Fanbase to pay bills, right? To pay a car note, to pay your rent, just enough, you know what I'm saying? Part of it, gas or whatever. And that's a whole nother area in a world where people don't understand that the opportunity to make money and receive income for being a content creator. It doesn't mean, like I said, if you want to just go all in and say, look, I want to make this a full-time job. I love the scalability of that, the ability that there is no limit to the amount of subscribers that you can have on Fanbase or the amount of revenue that someone can give you on this app. But starting out, if you want to make just enough money to say, hey, man, this is going to pay for my Netflix account, or this is going to pay for my, this whatever recurring, bill that I have month over month, Fanbase is taking care of that. That's pretty cool. And on top of that, and one thing we haven't pointed out is there are several people that are in this room right now, I'm going to assume, that have actually made the money that they've invested on Fanbase, they've made it using Fanbase. In fact, if you're in the chat right now and you've made the money that you've invested in Fanbase by using Fanbase, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. And I want you to see how many people say, look, just by even being an investor and using the platform, I've already made back the money that I've invested in the platform. Look at all these ones popping up here. And that's good. That means these people now have equity in Fanbase for free, right? To the extent of saying, I've made money. I made the money that I've put into investing in this company. I've made it by using the product and being able to receive revenue. So that's another cool thing about it. And there's and I see a lot of loves going on. I see what? Mr. Larry, Martial Artistry, Talika, Lady Diva, Love House, Oracle, Joyce, Dwayne, Clifford, Queen Mo, Tiwa, Michelle, Aaron, Bella, Carlos, Lady Diva. It's awesome. And I think that's amazing. And I mean, that's the point and purpose of creating this seamless opportunity for people to receive revenue on the app.
That's awesome. I love it. We're super excited. We're expecting to, we're starting to celebrate more than ever. Our first of the month is our payout date. So I know March 1st is going to be super exciting. So we encourage everyone to get excited as well and start sharing content outside Fanbase, bring in audience, and start monetizing on your content as well.
Can I
Isaac,
can I
go ahead.
say one more thing too?
Yeah,
Because
of
this is
course.
something that I feel like is a shift, right? A seismic shift from one era to the other. Um, don't be afraid, especially if you're a content creator. Do not be afraid to share your link to your fan base profile, create exclusive content, and ask people to subscribe and support in what you do. I think there is this hesitation and saying, I don't know, like, I don't think anybody will subscribe to me. And I think there's this hesitation that no one will subscribe or no one will get paid and you'll get discouraged. First of all, consistency is the biggest key in ever being a content creator, is being consistent and then having the opportunity to place for people to actually pay you for what you do. So I myself have started to post more exclusive content. I've seen my subscribers grow, and so I'm utilizing fan base in a way that's saying, well, why, there's these opportunities for me to share information and share exclusive things. And why should I not say, hey, subscribe to my fan base profile? And I'll be dropping that information there. But you yourself, and especially some of you guys that make a really amazing content on here, even in the audio spaces, don't be afraid to create exclusive audio rooms. If you've been doing audio rooms on fan base for a year and you have some of the best rooms, it's okay to say, it's time that I can get a couple subscribers and supporters and make even more exclusive rooms. Don't be afraid. Like, I think that once people, normalize the understanding that people will pay for content, it'll become a behavior that is accepted and understood, and it'll translate into people subscribing, and it'll be something that people don't think about. Of course, everybody's like, I'm not going to pay for content. That's the older generation, right? The older generation is like, I'm not paying for content. I'm not going to do this. Let me tell you, the younger generation, they are transactional. They're supportive. They show love. They buy gifts. They buy subscriptions. They tip. They do all of these things. And so That is the behavior that the younger generations are having. And so don't be afraid to start today to say, hey, I need to start making some exclusive content on Fanbase and really exploring the opportunity of scaling the creator side of what I want to do.
Amen. I
Yeah.
love it. You're on fire. All right. So, a few reminders as we reach the top of the hour here. If you didn't know, we have a pretty nice campaign going on. If you buy 100 labs, you're gonna get 100 bonus labs automatically. So it's not only about earning money and making money, but it's also supporting. And just like Isaac says, it's a transactional environment. So to get, sometimes you gotta give some love as well. So just have in mind that we have a special campaign going on. So if you never bought labs, go ahead and buy 100 labs. It's 99 cents. You're gonna get 200 labs that you can spread around all the 6 content formats that we have here in Farmers. Even actually 7, because you can do that in the end too. With that said, it's exciting. $5 new threshold in Fanbase is the lowest that you're gonna find anywhere out there. Another reason why Fanbase is different from the rest, and we're gonna continue differentiating ourselves as we grow and as we get better. All right, we have 3 minutes left. Isaac, let's do a quick summary, outro of the race, and then we'll see if there's any other outstanding questions over here.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining our Tuesday Investor Town Hall at Fanbase. We do these every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. until the closure of our equity crowdfunding campaign, which is currently open. We are accepting investors. We are allowing you in the room and anyone that you want to send the Start Engine link to invest in Fanbase for $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. The minimum to invest in Fanbase is $399, right? Since we've launched this equity crowdfunding campaign, we have already raised $8,719,000. So we're going all the way to 17 million. And so we're actually over the halfway point. And to be quite honest, we've covered half of that halfway point since like around, late November all the way till now. So the raise has really, really picked up in the last 3 months and it's gaining momentum. And we're having more people invest in record amounts quickly. So go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest if you want to invest. And make sure that you confirm your investment. So make sure that you invest. You go to Start Engine to invest. You confirm your investment, and then you will be an investor in Fanbase and actually have equity. And you will sit on the cap table of a social media platform, right? In its early stages, that is no different than what Facebook was, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, except this time you will actually be an owner of a platform as it continues to scale, and you have a direct impact on the success of this platform by being an advocate, someone that tells other people that they can use Fanbase, download Fanbase, invest in Fanbase, all of the above. So tell everybody, go to startengine.com/fanbase, tell your friends, don't miss, because again, the raise can go viral, the raise can close, somebody can come in and take a large portion of the raise, and we're going to accept this money, and it helps us become competitive, right? It helps us be a competitive platform. I give a lot of love and credit to the development team that we're on something that sometimes people compare to platforms like Instagram and TikTok, which are multi-billion-dollar companies, and we've yet to scratch the surface of billions of dollars, but we will definitely get there. And that just speaks to the dedication and the talent of the people that make this platform every single day, that build it, that code it, that do the marketing and everything that's involved. So thank everybody that works at Fanbase for doing that. And we'll be back here next Tuesday at 5
Yep.
p.m. For another amazing town hall.
That's awesome. Thanks, everyone. Isaac, you want to go ahead and let's leave with the Fanbase promise, if you have it there.
Yeah, let me grab it, and I'm going to grab it and
Yeah.
share the Fanbase promise real quick. And let me say something about this, because we are in interesting times. We are in an era where it seems like platforms are picking and choosing who they want to show, who they want to accept, who is allowed, who is considered valuable. and the question of diversity, equity, and inclusion has been up for debate all the time, right? And so, what I'd like to talk about is the fact that um, DEI is in our DNA. We were founded that way. We were founded off the principle that we want people to be themselves, whoever you are, without limitation, without shadow banning, suppression, ridicule, judgment, or anything. And so this video perfectly expresses that. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And we will see you next week at our investor town hall on Fanbase. All right, guys?
All right, there you have it. Investment Town Hall with Isaac and Rama. Tune in again next Tuesday, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Hopefully, you can hear a snippet of it. Let's see if it plays from my phone.
At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcome, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you. The marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future, where everyone has a power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have the chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.
Imagine that's our motto at Fanbase. Be you without limits. See you again. I'm gonna get me a intro as soon as I find it. Bye bye.